In this video, we're going to talk about interval families and how the intervals are related to each other. So, in intervals, we have two families. We have either intervals fall into the family of major intervals, or they fall into the family of perfect intervals. So major intervals are your, let's see, where should I put this? Seconds, thirds, sixths, and sevenths. So any interval of a second, a third, a sixth, or a seventh is going to fall into one of these interval types in this column. And then all of your intervals that are firsts, fourths, fifths, and eighths are going to fall into the perfect family. So you're never going to have, for instance, you're never going to have a perfect second, or a perfect third, or a perfect sixth, or a perfect seventh. Those are always going to be over here, either a major or one of the other ones in this family. You're never going to have a major first or a major fourth, and so on. And so let's talk about this. If we're looking at the major family, if we go half a step lower than a major interval, we get a minor interval. So major, capital M, is how we notate that. Minor, lowercase m. If we go down another half step from a minor interval, we get a diminished interval, which is a lowercase d. Now if we go up a half step from a major interval, so it's a half step larger or half step taller, we get what we call an augmented interval. So half a step larger than major we call augmented. Half a step smaller than major we call minor. Half a step smaller than minor, or 2 half steps smaller than major, we call a diminished interval. Let's go to the perfect family here. So if we go half a step smaller than a perfect interval, instead of going to minor, we go straight to diminished. And if we go down another half step from that, we go to DD, which means double diminished. So you don't see these too often. They're a little bit uncommon, but you know, I guess if you were to even get crazier, I guess it would be triply diminished and so on after that, but you don't, like I said, you don't really go much further. Also, if you had an interval that was so far removed from major that it went 3 half steps down, I guess that would be double diminished as well. So, sort of kind of theoretical zone after that. So, half a step larger or taller than perfect interval is, like major, like the major family, augmented. So half a step lower than perfect is diminished. Half a step lower than that, or 2 half steps lower than perfect, is called doubly diminished. Half a step larger than perfect is called augmented. And these are the interval families.